Hey everyone, it's John here from MCKAY Hockey back with another video, and this video is on Dave Hakstol being hired as the Seattle Kraken head coach. First ever coach for the Kraken, Dave Hakstol. So if you are new, I hope you hit that subscribe button, drop a like, leave a comment. If you're a new hockey fan getting into hockey or a new Kraken fan, welcome. This is definitely the place to be. I think you can learn a lot of hockey through this channel and community. Kraken get their guy. And it was definitely a surprise. I was shocked to see this. I thought Rick Tocchet was in there, and I've been saying for a year, I thought JAROD GALLANT. I thought maybe even John Tortorella with that opening up. I know there's some rumblings about Mike Babcock at some point, but no. It is the guy. It is Dave Hakstol, and just coming off a couple of years of being the assistant coach, the defensive coach for the Toronto Maple Leafs, where he improved the defensive game of the Leafs. Obviously, they brought in better defensive players. That helped. And a few years with the Flyers, and I think Flyers fans can come together with a little laugh at this hiring, mostly because of the struggles towards the end of the Flyers kind of run there, but also throughout like the whole thing. Like it just, in Flyers fans' perspectives, and I think in a lot of perspectives, there was kind of high quality, high skilled situations with the Flyers and teams that kind of got wasted. So let's get right into it. Dave Hakstol, what do you need to know? Who is this guy? And what are some aspects of this hiring that need to be known? So, Hakstol, new head coach of the Kraken. So that's what you kind of need to know in the Flyers perspective. When you see on Twitter and why Flyers fans are freaking out, that's what's up. So these were some good Flyers teams. Lost in the first round, out in the playoffs, lost in the first round, and then a bad start to the next year, and then he got canned. Francis and Hakstol were together on Team Canada's 2019 World Championship team. So Ron Francis hiring someone that he probably had a conversation about it with, potentially going, hey, that Kraken team. But I'll say this. I think Ron Francis has done his research. He's had conversations with Hakstol well before this interview process. And he obviously liked what he heard in the interview process. So for Dave Hakstol, he definitely said the right things. He said the right things over guys like Rick Tocchet, who on the surface had a better chance. And overall, as the head coach, he has a 134, 101, 42 record. So not bad in the season, but 4-8 in the playoffs. So like the Leafs, but he can't get into the first round. And hey, if you want a positive side of this is actually a good point. I'm a Seahawks fan, so here you go. Hakstol was a successful college coach who made the leap to the pros, flamed out in the first go-round as head coach, and he is now getting a second chance to prove himself at this level. We've seen that before in Seattle. So yeah, Pete Carroll was with, I believe, the Jets and then the Pats, and for the most part, in an overall perspective, he's been pretty successful with Seattle. So, hey, we've seen that in Seattle before. Maybe Hakstol, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but hey, on a positive side, Hakstol could be that guy. So I'll just say this, for Kraken fans or anyone watching, this is my opinion on Hakstol. I think as a head coach, specifically with the Flyers, it didn't work. I think as an assistant coach, there was some worries there. There was some skepticism, but it worked. In terms of improving what the Leafs were looking for, improving a defensive game, getting a better defensive style of hockey when it matters, Hakstol helped. He did help. So as an assistant coach with him prioritizing that, it worked, right? So I think it's going to be interesting. I've talked about the Kraken potential team and just kind of thinking about it in my head right now. The Kraken are going to have probably a solid defensive team, or at least good defensemen. I think they're going to start off with potentially really good defensemen. And they have a lot of options, and there's going to be a lot of defensemen unprotected here. It's going to be more of like finding gems. The similar way that Vegas did, it's going to be finding gems for that forward group. And I will say, Flyers fans know this. Like, I know a bunch of under-the-radar guys were jumping into the lineup all the time for the Flyers, where guys like Lindblom or guys like Sanheim, guys like that were getting scratched on some nights. So some nights, I just think Hakstol probably as a head coach just overthinks things. I don't know. But I think it got to a point where he was getting booed pretty badly by the fans, and it just didn't end well, and then he got canned. So, on the surface, this is a weird hire, and it's definitely out of left field, but I think we got to give it a chance. I think after year one, if it's bad, I'll rip into the guy as just a content creator, but obviously, just as fans, we can't really speak too much to it because we don't know what happens behind the scenes. We don't know what kind of conversations went down. Ron Francis, smart guy. We know what kind of career he had. So he trusts in this hire. And I do believe that we've seen it with the Montreal Canadiens. We've seen it with the New York Islanders. We've seen it with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Sometimes if you have a defensive mentality team and don't necessarily have the big stars up front, you can be successful. You can be successful in the season and moving into the playoffs. Ron Francis is bringing in a defensive-minded coach, and this is different because this is no Philly team. This is no Flyers team that has a stacked offense. This is a Kraken team that are going to have a lot of under-the-radar guys coming in, a lot of fringe guys playing on the second or third line, right? But we saw with Vegas, William Karlsson was like a third, fourth liner with Columbus. Didn't put up many points. Came to Vegas, boom, first liner, right? Riley Smith in and out of the lineup was kind of getting into that, not bum category, but he wasn't working out. Marchessault was still showing that he was not an AHLer anymore with Florida, and he was putting up good numbers, but then went to Vegas and even exploded more. Like, you see the different guys that went to Vegas and really exploded. Eric Hulla. Like, I could go down the list. So Seattle's going to find those kind of guys, and I'm sure it's going to not replicate, but kind of give us those vibes of maybe a Columbus, maybe a Montreal, maybe an Islanders that build like that as a defensive strong team, defensive structured team, and then you build it forward from there. And I think they're going to have a lot of options for goaltending. So I don't hate the hire. I was a little surprised. I was shocked. I'm not going to lie. Usually when it comes down to these things, I have some kind of sense of whether it's just me reading on rumors or just knowing what's up. But no, this was a shock. This came out of left field. I had no idea this was even in a conversation. And the Toronto Maple Leafs have to find a new assistant coach. So Dave Hakstol, the new head coach of the Seattle Kraken. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and let's get to 40,000 subs. We're almost there. I will be live during the whole expansion draft, by the way, and I'll be live for breaking news as it happens. A lot of videos coming out as well, so hope to see you there. All right, this is John from MCKAY. Have a good one. Peace out.